So, welcome back to episode 4 of Shack Out Back,
Episode
the podcast.
4. Name it on the spot. Name it right now, Jim. It's about the outdoors and camping.
Camp
Episode.
Yeah. So this is your doing. This is your show here, Dan. So,
yeah, 100%.
Well, let's start with the podcast with like what we've been doing and yeah. So what have you been up to, Mr. Daniel?
What have I done? I beat Yakuza Kiwami 1 in the last week and a half, and the last boss fight was amazing, and the second to last boss fight made me want to rip my dick off.
Yeah,
it was infuriating. I'm surprised I didn't get a noise complaint. It was real bad.
Were you just screaming?
Oh, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good time, Jim.
That was like me and you playing Remnant.
But Kiwami 2 immediately started, and oh my god, it's so much better. There's no loading screens going into buildings. You can just walk in seamlessly, and it's so much better looking, and it performs really, really well too, actually.
A truly next-gen experience.
Yeah.
How was that game?
The original game came out on the PS2, and then this is a remaster from 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm glad that now we have the PS5. We can play PS3 and PS2 games at their full power.
When the PS6 comes out, at what point, I was thinking about that, at what point do you think the naming conventions are going to start getting stupid? Because PS5 already sounds kind of dumb, but like
Xbox
PS6,
is dumb. I don't even know what the Xbox is called, the new one. It's like Xbox XXX. Is that what it is?
I think it's just like Xbox Series X. I started Kiwami 2. I don't think I've been playing any other games really besides that. I haven't been doing much else. It's been a lot of schoolwork and then Christmas stuff I started to buy and wrap, all that good stuff.
You've been watching movies, haven't you? We watched a movie together, me and you.
Yeah,
and our friends.
I couldn't tell you what it was called.
It was Deadly Detention.
Deadly Detention. One of the... Yeah.
It was the best example I've ever seen of a movie that was rated R to begin with, and then they changed everything when the movie was finished.
Yeah. I'd really want to see the original cut to that movie and see all the stuff they took out.
Well, so the premise of that film was like there's a bunch of kids who go to a prison for some reason for detention, and they get killed by their bus driver or whatever. These kids die, like they obviously died, like as being killed by this bus driver. So they would cut away from the death scenes, and at the end, the principal came back, who was on a meat hook, who certifiably was dead, and they put a shroud on. She was on a meat hook, came back, and was like, I checked all their pulses. They're good. They lived. They're fine. And then the movie ends.
That is by far my favorite response to is everyone dead? Just, no, I checked their pulses. They're actually okay. I want more movies to do that. Are they dead?
Yeah.
No, I just checked their pulses. They're actually okay. One of the dudes got his head smashed through a window. She was on a meat hook. One of the girls apparently got stabbed with a big spear.
Yeah.
One of the girls' heads got crushed
by a
gates.
Fucking prison door, yeah.
But no, checked her pulse. Okay, she's okay. I gave her the okay.
The little crushed skull never killed anybody.
That was a good one.
Me and you like watching bad movies. We have a group of friends who get together and watch bad movies over Netflix or whatever. I think like we've watched a lot of good ones, such as like Wish Upon, Dead Con, like a bunch. We've watched the good ones. That movie, Deadly Detention, was one of the worst films we've ever watched, and I don't know if the like enjoyment to badness factor was there. I think it was just mostly bad and frustrating. What about music? That Spotify wraparound whatever thing came out. What was the number one band you've been listening to?
It was Cage the Elephant, I believe. Yeah, it was.
What the fuck is Cage the Elephant?
Cage the Elephant did the song for the original Borderlands. That's where they got all popular from.
What does that song go again?
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked, that one.
Ain't no rest for the wicked, Cage the Elephant.
I've been listening to them since that came out.
Well, me and you went on a deep dive when we were watching Deadly Detention, where you were posting on people's Facebook walls 10 years ago about Borderlands.
That was a good one. What else? Someone brought up with the Spotify wraparound. It said in mine that I've listened to 420 new genres of music, and someone else I saw had over 1,000, and someone messaged Spotify and they haven't responded, and they were like, how many genres are there exactly?
Well, it's probably just like tags you put on your music, right? So if someone like
guess.
does like a lowercase t or something,
Yeah, you think so? You think that's
for
what
trap
it means?
music or something? Yeah, that's probably what it
Rap
is.
music. What else? I haven't been reading anything. I've been busy as hell.
I'm gonna talk about what I've been doing, Dan.
Yeah.
I finished The Last of Us 2.
Oh yes. How long of a game is that?
It was like 25 hours.
Oh,
It had a Lord of the Rings ending where it ended like 6 times.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. There are problems with it with the narrative. The narrative is pretty long, and there's some gameplay stuff I didn't like too much. But I really liked the game. Like, it was very fun. What else? I'm playing more Spelunky. I'm still not finished that fucking game.
I kind of uninstalled it.
I was thinking about it. I was actually thinking about like trying out Risk of Rain 2 or something as like another game I can just mindlessly play because I'm getting kind of frustrated with Spelunky.
Risk of Rain 2 is so fun. I have 96 hours in that game, but I haven't played it since any of the couple big updates. So.
It's co-op too, right? You can play it together.
It's fully co-op.
What else? I'm playing a little Pokemon. I've been playing lots of Divinity 2. I like.
Oh, really? Again?
Yes. So I just turned it on the other night, and I was like, oh, I'll play for a few hours, and I played from 7 p.m. till 3 a.m.
Jesus. Did you like start a fully new game?
Yeah, and I got through Fort Joy. That's how long it took me to get through Fort Joy, like the first like tutorial.
Yeah, I know. That was interesting when we played too. It took us like multiple sessions, and you can easily do it in like 2 hours.
And you know what's so nice playing by myself is there's no fucker named Dan who set me on fire in 3 seconds.
So you control 4 characters when you play by yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing my main guy and then 3 companions. I thought I'd do 2 playthroughs if I wanted to do another one, so I do 3 companions. Because there's 6 companions, I do 3 one and 3 the other time. So now I have Efan and Fane and Sybil with me. What else? I finished that new Brandon Sanderson book that came out. I read 1,200 pages in 3 days or something. It was a lot of reading. It's very good.
That's a lot.
I'm just going to talk about that a little bit. I like the book a lot.
What book was it?
It was the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive. It's called Rhythm of War. I feel like it was probably the weakest one because of the way it was structured, but I liked he went with the perspectives because he has a bunch of characters. The main focus was on this character who was like behind enemy lines and had to use her smartness to get out of it, and it was a very thrilling read, those parts. Other parts could have been a little bit better, but I mean, it's a very good fantasy book. I usually don't like fantasy, so it's very good. I think that's it for what I've been doing. I've been working on stuff too, not on school stuff because I'm done, but lots of other stuff. So
how's your erotic cowboy novel coming along?
Listen, it's gonna be like Brokeback Mountain times 80. You're gonna be crying and coming. It's gonna be the best.
You should start a Kickstarter and say that you're getting the official people who wrote Brokeback Mountain and never message them or ask them for actual IP. Just say that you're doing it.
I'm making a Brokeback Mountain interactive dating sim.
Yeah.
And I need the writers. I need to pay the writers to write it for
just
me.
Just like that guy who said he was making a Breaking Bad movie but never messaged any of the people. He just started a Kickstarter for it.
That's why I don't support things like that. Like, if someone has something going alpha, like a video game, or there's an author who has a book coming out and like get pre-ordered that and stuff, that's fine. But I don't like putting my money down for concepts.
A concept
I know you have
a person who doesn't understand how concepts work.
Yeah, I and you can tell. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to tell if it's legitimate or not, like depending on like the write-up for it and the art and the socials and links and stuff, but I still don't trust it that much. Yeah. I mean, you've supported stuff. What kind of stuff have you supported on Kickstarter?
I haven't done it in a long time, but I'm pretty picky even when I do it, like what I actually support.
Well, you've done board games and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I think I've only done board games. I don't think I'd really ever be comfortable doing like a video game.
No.
Like I have, but I have wholly basically forgotten about it because it's been delayed multiple times already, and I played the demo of it.
It doesn't usually take like dozens of people to make a board game, whereas video games take like a whole team, months and months and months to finish, and stuff can go wrong and whatever. So it's not good. Yeah.
So I backed Lords of Vegas 10th anniversary because I know for a fact it's a good game. Like it's already been regarded as an amazing game.
Yeah,
but,
and that's something that's like it's already a thing, and they just want to make a new version of it or something. That's a good idea.
Like it's already a thing, and the publishers lost access to the rights, and then they just got it back, so they're doing a bunch of reprinting, so it was almost impossible to buy in Canada. So I backed that, a big huge base set that was pretty expensive, but I'm very excited. I backed that fucking RPG, guy back, Grimmer Space. Listen,
yeah.
I couldn't even tell you when that is supposed to come out anymore.
That's the same people.
It feels like what's up?
It's the same people who did that game we're playing, right? Isn't it the same people who did...
It's kind of the same people. It's more so like a system built off of it, like all those D&D 5e type of systems.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I couldn't even tell you when it's supposed to come out anymore. I thought it was supposed to come out a long time ago. But every single update is just like more stuff. More, we're doing this now, and we're doing the pre-order store now, and we're doing this now. And it's like, holy shit, I thought this was supposed to come out years ago.
Do you want to get on the main topic now?
Camping, the joys of being outside.
So tell me why you have a camping compulsion now. Didn't you say it was because of some kind of anime last time?
Yeah, so, I mean, I've wanted to go camping a lot more lately, and especially me and my friends, me and Leroy and Jason went before kind of everything started being real big COVID lockdown-y. We went together.
Yeah,
we just went for one night over at Fanshawe. But I really want to go more, especially in the new year. Like, I'm hoping to get some nice camping stuff this Christmas or buy it myself.
Well, you said you were thinking about getting like cold camping stuff too, like sleeping bags and stuff.
I want to go more so in late fall, early winter, because there's no bugs. All the bugs are dead.
That's when I like going to, like late September into October, maybe beginning November.
And the fire's nice when it's all cold out there.
What kind of camping tent would it be? Would it be like just this weird thermal material, or it be, because I watch a lot of videos about people, and this is a big thing on YouTube, right? Like people who have cabins in the middle of the woods and go like on camping excursions and stuff. I watched this guy called Joe Robinette, I think his name is. Yeah. He's got a channel, and he's from Southern Ontario too. And he just goes out in the middle of buttfuck and just does stuff. But the way he does winter camping is he either like has this big thermal tent, or he has this big open tent and literally sticks a fire right beside himself and curls up like around it. How would you want to do the? How would you want to do the winter camping?
I'd be scared the fire would burn down my tent and then I'd die alone in the woods. I think you just have to get either, especially for people that aren't going like in the Arctic or in the dead of winter when it's like the coldest possible. Either just like a 2-season tent, so it's like fall and winter, or just like a warmer tent, because the tent that me and Cass have right now is like summer tent. Bad. It's like a festival tent, and it was like $30 for it.
Festival tent?
Yeah, like it is definitely for drunken people to wander in and sleep in at a music festival. It was the cheapest thing, and it has worked. It's worked like 2 or 3 times, but every time I have woken up in the middle of the night breathing my own CO2 in because there's no airflow. And I felt like I'm gonna die. So it's not ideal.
Oh my god! I thought you might have had like a tent, because
no.
I have a tent. I like going camping. I have a bunch of camping stuff. I have a cot and I have a tent and stuff. And I usually
would be nice.
And I have good sleeping bags like my dad had. Like my dad ran an unscrupulous pawn shop, so he has a bunch of stuff like that's just random and really nice.
Ashes and guns and things like that.
Remnant ashes. So he has this military sleeping bag from like the 80s that's full of like goose feathers and is amazing. You can when I can't sleep, I usually come down to the basement and I'll sleep on like the carpet floor in that with nothing else, and I wake up sweating, and in my basement's like 10 degrees in the middle of the night on the winter. It's a very good sleeping bag. Do you have any did you go camping a lot as a kid?
No, not at all, but I want to. I don't know why, because I don't love the outdoors. Like, I don't love bugs and shit. But I like camping. I like the tent and the fire and eating around the fire and talking to people around the fire. So I'll suck it up for the bugs and all the stuff I dislike about being outside. But
so you like the social aspect of it?
Yes, 100%.
I think I've gone camping, if not every year, every other year since high school, I think, and before that too. I remember I went on a camping trip right after grade 13, and it was me and a bunch of dudes from high school. And I remember people who were there were big drinkers, and I'm not much of a drinker anymore, and certainly not as much then. And I remember there was a big group of like people who were like, one guy spent, have I told you this story?
I don't think so.
One guy spent $1,200 on food.
Jesus Christ.
For 4 days for camping.
4 days.
4 days. So this one guy went to the States and spent $1,200 on food, came back and was like, everyone has to pay me $200. There was a big group of guys who just paid this dude $200 for food. And then me and a group of girls get there, and I spent $40 on food, filled up like on granola bars and stuff in a cooler, and I was bringing food home after 4 days.
$1,200. What would you even have bought?
It was like pre-made meals and sandwiches, steak, bacon, all this stuff. It was crazy. Anyway, the point of that story was there was a big group of people who were between like people who were like, I love RV camping and I love all this food, and people who were like, I wanted to go out in the middle of the woods and hack stuff up with my fists. It was a big disparaging group. Did you go camping a lot as a kid or no?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
No, I don't think I went once. I don't think. I went to cottages and stuff, but I've never, like, before a couple of years ago when I went, no, I'd never been tent camping.
No?
Never, ever.
What, like, how many times have you been since you've been an adult? Because I know you went this year, and I think you went last year, too.
Yeah, I've probably only been 3 times, maybe, 3 or 4.
And that was, like, twice with Cassie and once with the guys? Or did you go with, a group of people, too?
I think I went with Cassie and then another couple, and then Leroy, Jason, and me. So that was good. But yeah, the big camping kick right now is just because I finished watching an anime called, I think the English name is Laid Back Camp, but it's called Yuru Camp.
What's it about? Like a group of campers, like Laszlo's Camp, whatever the hell that show was, where they're like, like they go to sleepaway camp or something?
Laszlo's Camp, I forgot that existed.
What the fuck is that? Camp Laszlo.
Camp Laszlo, yeah. Laid Back Camp is it's basically like a slice of life series, and it's written around camping under Fuji Mountain in like Japan and stuff, and it follows a bunch of high school girls that start a camping club at their high school, and then they just discover the joys of camping.
The joys of getting together and having fun.
It's very wholesome. It's a nice little show to watch, drink a hot chocolate to. There's no big plot twist. There's no overarching story really. There's just
Is that a big thing?
Very easy thing.
Is that a big thing for some animes where they have some animes that are just you hang out with these people and have fun and basically that's it.
Slice of life animes are like that. Some of they're very hit and miss, at least for me. Some of them are very good, and when I like one, I usually like it a lot. But when it's bad, it's really boring.
What about Free? Is Free like that? I don't really know the premise of Free. Like, what is Free about? Just swim competitions?
So Free is a borderline yaoi anime, which is a gay anime. Mm-hmm. Free is pretty much gay. I don't think they ever officially... like it's not ever wholly a homosexual anime. They never like kiss each other, but it's very, very strongly implied that there are no females that any of them like.
Well, isn't it just like there's like 12 guys or whatever, and there's one friend who's a girl who's just platonic homies with everybody?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's another slice of life, and it's about competitive swimmers in, I believe it starts out in high school, and then I think there's like 3 or 4 seasons now. And they go in, I think, 2 movies. And they basically go
2 movies?
Yeah, like, it's popular. And, yeah, it follows, like, Haruka and Rin and Nagisa and Sosuke and stuff. And they just go and they swim. It's very good, and it's another slice of life. But another slice of life that's very good, that's more so like Yuru Camp, is called A Place Further Than the Universe, which is very good. And it's A Place Further Than the Universe is about a bunch of high school girls that go to Antarctica on a summer retreat, basically, because one of the girls' mothers was an Antarctic researcher who died up in Antarctica and never
I think
came
you've
back.
told me about this one before.
Yeah.
Isn't it like they get there and they find something crazy? I don't remember.
They get there and they do find her old camp and they find a journal from her and stuff, but more so it's just every single episode is just either them preparing to go there, making money to go there, learning about stuff on the ship, learning about Antarctic Circle stuff. I believe it's big enough, A Place Further Than the Universe is big enough that they've partnered with schools in the Japan, like prefectures and stuff, and they will do science lessons based off the show. So
you know what? That sounds so much more genuine to me than something like people have these shows that they watch on Netflix all the time that are just mindless. Like The Office was one, and people watch Grey's Anatomy and stuff. And I feel like those shows try to like hang a plot on as a way to just get people sort of interested. I feel you describing these shows to me is like a more genuine version of that. Like we are just about these girls chilling. learning about Antarctica and trying to find their mom. That's it.
Yeah,
we're not going to be, oh, they're getting back together, they're getting back up, or this horrible gore that's going on.
Yeah, no, there's nothing in that
hate
show.
That.
Yeah, me too. No, I couldn't give less of a fuck about. I'm sorry, Grey's Anatomy, but I couldn't give less of a shit about Grey's Anatomy or The Office, or not The Office. I like The Office, but more so House. House was another one my parents watched a lot when I was younger. And thinking back on House, every goddamn episode was the exact same.
I watched House when I was younger too, but I remember I was watching it with my parents, and then they had this plot sort of thrust in the last 2 seasons where something actually happened, and that's when I started to watch it a lot and talk about it with my friends. I hate fucking Grey's Anatomy, and me walking on my sister watching something, and it was just an open chest and people grabbing at hearts and shit. It's the same thing with Criminal Minds. My friends used to like Criminal Minds when I was in high school. Have you ever watched it?
No, I've never watched Critical Minds.
It's about this team of FBI investigators or whatever who are searching into murderers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of horror movies, right? I enjoy like funny gore movies and weird stuff. That show had the most gratuitous shit in it I've ever seen. There were like people being blown up and forced to like kill themselves in front of their daughters, and like 100 people being tortured to death and stuff. And the wrapping around that was this shitty plots about these FBI characters that were so generic, like, I'm estranged from my daughter and we'll make it through this if we stick together. But it just felt like an excuse to have fucking gore porn on TV and then have people watch it and say, oh, I like the characters.
I like the characters, but we'll get back on topic in 1 sec, but I just wanted to say, wasn't Logan Paul a character in Criminal Minds?
Oh, Tobuscus was on fucking Law and Order SVU.
Wasn't he like a gamer rapist?
Yeah,
or something?
He was a gamer rapist.
Logan Paul was like part of Gamergate, I think, in Criminal Minds. I'm pretty sure he like had a gun and was on the top of the building trying to shoot someone. I'm pretty sure it was Logan Paul.
I love when YouTubers and stuff try to make it in mainstream media. It's so funny every time.
Yeah, so Logan Paul was on Law and Order, and he was he played a dude that was like part of Gamergate, I believe. So
we fight the Gamergate conspiracy. I don't even remember what Gamergate's about. Anyway, getting back to camping.
I wanted to talk to you because you went to Cuba and you've been camping a bunch.
Are you less traveled? Like where's the farthest place you've ever been, Dan?
I mean, I've been to Paris and England and Iceland.
You went on a tour though, right? For
yes.
Like a European tour for that?
Yeah.
Have you been to a lot of places in Canada?
No, not really. I mean, I've been to Quebec, but I've been to like the white person Quebec, like English speaking Quebec. I really haven't been in the heart of Quebec.
That's all I've been to too. I really sorry to people from Quebec who are listening, but I really love Montreal. I really love going there. It's one of my favorite cities.
Yeah, start saying Quebec people suck.
But I'm just gonna say that I have no like compulsion to go to rural Quebec and hang out there. Like maybe to go sightsee and stuff, like nature walk and stuff. But I more, if I want to go on a vacation to Quebec, I'd probably go to Montreal and see like all the historic buildings. They have a museum there that's like has a glass floor in it. Did I tell you about this last time I was there?
I don't think so.
So they have this museum right by the waterfront, and the floor is all glass in most of the museum, and under it you can see the foundations of the first buildings the settlers set up in Quebec, in Montreal.
That's scary.
It's fucking crazy. That city's amazing, and it's so. I have friends who live there, and it's so cheap to live there, and it's much cheaper than some place like New York or something to get around and look at stuff at.
Yeah, fuck New York.
Well, what do you think? Sorry, get back to camping. What do you think's like a good, like comparing your 3 camping trips? Like, what was the best parts and what was the worst parts?
The worst parts of the first one was when my girlfriend vomited profusely at 2 a.m. because she drank too much.
That is a bad part, yeah. Did I tell you the last time I went camping, something similar happened to me, where I went with bunch of my friends. This is this year, and 2 of them are like, they get high a lot, like they enjoy their weed, and they were like, Jim, you can try this with us, and they gave me this. So I had a rough day, and then they gave me this joint, and I was like, we live in Canada, fuck you. Smoking weed is better than drinking. Better for you anyway. And I was like, okay, and I tried that. I smoked as much as they did, and it had like a crazy amount of THC in it, which was what gets you high. So I
yeah.
smoked this, and I was sitting in the chair, right? And I started sinking into my chair and looking at all the trees. And I was talking about like the trees, man. It's like I was a little kid looking at them. And it was like 9 p.m. and I was so high. I was walking to the bathroom and almost like falling over. And I got to the bathroom and I was just like tripping out. And I went to bed at 9:30. And I got up at 8 o'clock the next day.
Oh my God.
I was high for 4 days after that. I had a residual high going for hours and days. It was crazy.
I mean, that sounds like a trip, but yeah, I don't think I've ever smoked that much weed camping or anything like that. I'm not a huge smoker.
Not me either. That's why I smoked 1/3 of a joint and I was high for 4 days. But I would say that usually when you go camping with friends, it's usually like doing drugs and drinking is a thing that people do. Like I definitely bring beer and booze with me when I go. Last time I just brought like a little Mickey of whiskey or whatever, and we had that on the beach and stuff. But yeah. Drinking's a big thing for camping.
Yeah, I mean, when we went to Fanshawe, the boys, Leroy, Jason, and I, we got there and we were like, let's rent some kayaks. And then I didn't really think, because like kayaks can be easily sanitized, and there's a lot worse stuff people are doing with COVID. You couldn't rent kayaks. You couldn't rent any type of boat.
It was the same thing. I think we went to the Pinery or something, and it was the same thing too.
Like, I understand why, obviously, but like, shouldn't those be like the easiest things in the world to clean?
Well, you got to think too that,
or I guess maybe the sanitizer would damage the, I don't know,
the lacquer or something. You got to think too
maybe.
That most people would be like, I don't want a kayak because of COVID, and that's totally fine. If you don't feel comfortable in getting in someone else's kayak, that's totally fine. Got to keep yourself safe. But then they can't staff the building, and they can't keep, like, they don't have people on staff to like watch over the place, take care of it, sanitize it, because there's not a lot of people coming in. They can't pay that person for 2 months to do it. So that's probably a part of it too.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
I feel like camping is one of those COVID vacations we can go on now where we don't feel bad about it. Like, I remember I was planning on going to a trip to Montreal when the cases went down in the summer, and then I just was like, no, I shouldn't go regardless. Like, the COVID's too bad, and if I have COVID, I don't want to spread it again or something. Yeah. But going camping, I was like, I know, like, me and my friends spend time together, the 4 of us, and we're safe when we're together. We're safe at work. We got tests done. We're okay. So we can go camp together and not stay in the same tent for a few days and just chill. Oh, I didn't tell you. Did I tell you this, that when I got there to the Pinery, did I tell you anything about this trip?
I don't think so.
So every 10
when
years...
was this?
Like a few months ago in August or something. So. Every 10 years or something, I was reading on the bulletin board, these invasive moths spawn. So I was at this site, and everywhere you looked, Dan, there were dozens and dozens of moths everywhere.
Wait, is it the moths or the caterpillars? Like, they were moths?
They were moths at that point.
Because when Leroy and Jason and I went, there was a warning for... Yeah, it was like a warning for, I think, or maybe it was Cassie and Lisa and stuff. There was a warning for the caterpillars, and we didn't see them at first, and then when we were looking around, they were all on the trees and all on the buildings, and it was disturbing.
So by the time I got there, they were fucking coating everything, dude. So we have this old like mess tent that we use when we go camping. I think we threw it out because it's fucking horrible. But we had it set up over our like cooking stuff. Yeah. And for the first night, and we cooked under there, whatever, we woke up the next day, and there were, not even kidding, 40 moths in that thing. And we didn't even take it down ever. We literally just picked it up, and we usually put it over a picnic table. We just picked it up, put it in the corner of our camp, and left it there for the rest of the trip. It was full. And what they would do is they'd crawl over your stuff and crawl on trees, and then they would die and explode with eggs everywhere.
That's fucking horrifying. I hate... thinking of that is disgusting.
I was super careful to like make sure that my tent was shut and stuff, because I don't like the feeling of moths like flying around me. I hate them like when they're around me. They freak me out when they're laying on your head and stuff. Yeah, it was not a very fun. that wasn't the best part, but we were camped right by the beach, so we just went to the beach a lot. It was fun.
Fucking horrendous.
Going back to when I was a kid and stuff, do you want me to say just a couple stories from when I went camping? So I used to go camping with my cousins a lot, and I remember there was this time where I was when I was younger, I was a big kid. I didn't have a lot of confidence, so I just used to hang out with my cousins a lot. Like when we go on trips during the summer and stuff. I remember we went somewhere. It was far away. It was like a 4-hour drive or something. And my cousin was like, "Oh yeah, let's go." I was like 10 or something, 10 or 11, and he was like, "Okay, let's go tubing." I'm like, "Okay, I've never been tubing before. I'll do that." So they had this set up. It was like this like waterfall kind of this decline on a hill. Yeah. And it was like a water slide. You get on the tube and you go down the decline, then you go down the river. So we do that or whatever. And I don't know what it was, but I think I either went way ahead of everybody or way behind. And no one saw me for like an hour and a half.
That's your abduction story, Jim. That's
we were
gone. You were missing time.
I was filled full of moonshine and sacrificed to a god. No, I was going down the river. I remember just going down the river in this tube, just me and my bare ass belly with my swim trunks on, like down this river, and then at it for over an hour. And I was like, I wonder when I'm going to catch up with the other guys. And I thought about like stopping, and I thought about like 100 other things, and I was just like, and I was just like, no, I'll just chill here. If I don't remember how, but I met up with them later because we just ran into each other on the river or whatever. Can you imagine if I just kept going and no one ever found me?
Where do you think you'd be? Your life would probably be so much cooler.
I'd still be on that river.
You'd still be on that river. You'd still be going down it.
I'd be on a tube in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
That'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool. You could write a book about that encounter. Autobiography.
My autobiography, Tube Man.
It'd be called The Tube. That'd be cool. I'd watch that.
Yeah, like I learned how to fish, and I learned how to gut fish, and I remember like going swimming in the lake and just climbing up on like a dock, and people were swimming around me, and just those when you go to lakes sometimes they have like a wooden platform like out like in the middle of the. So I remember getting up with my cousin at like 7 or 8 in the morning and just swimming out there and putting jackets back on and drying off and just fishing for like an hour. It was very fun.
Delicious. Do you have anywhere you want to camp specifically that you'd want to travel to and camp?
No, I go to Rondeau a lot. Rondeau is a fun park.
Yeah, up north.
It doesn't really matter to me. The Pinery's fine too. It's near where we're at as well.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's a good time and you get a campsite that's kind of like not in the near people. Like me and my friends, the big group, we get the same campsite almost every year. We've done it 2 or 3 times now. Yeah. And it's like in the corner away from people, but still relatively close to the beach, and that's nice to have some privacy.
I want to go beach camping. I've never been lakeside camping or beach camping.
Well, it's not really lakeside camping. It's like 10-minute walk or something from the shoreline.
Is it sand, or are you still on dirt and stuff?
It's in the middle of the woods. Yeah. The woods are relatively close to the shore. You know what I'd like to try at some point? If me and you were going to plan a camping trip or something, what I'd like us to do is to like, I don't know, this sounds like also like a recipe for disaster. Like, oh yeah, this sounds good, and then we die of malnutrition in the middle of the woods. But I wouldn't mind going to like some crown land, like not campgrounds, like land controlled by the government, and like going out a little ways, like pitching a tent, like cutting some wood down and starting a fire and just having like a good old time like that.
How
that sounds like good too. I think we can look up the regulations for it, but I think you can, like, if you go to government land, you can literally, depending on what it is, I think it's crown land or something. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but you can literally just go out and camp. I think that would be a fun trip to just try. Me and you. If me and you were going camping by ourselves, that's what I'd like to do. Like, you get your nice down fucking goose tent, and we get in there and we camp and we make beans and stuff for a couple days and then go home.
Yeah, there's a whole webpage on crown land camping. You got to get a camping permit.
Yeah.
It says fish, campfire. Interesting. That would be very interesting to do.
Yeah, we can get a fishing license and just pick out a place. Have you ever been fishing?
No, I've never been. Yes, I have. What am I saying? I have, but I don't like touching the fish.
We could do it. Depending on what we catch, I could cook it up and we could eat it. Have a little fish fry. That'd be fun.
Eat all the bones, suck all the marrow out of the fish skull.
Yeah. I like, when I make fish, this is a gross Jim story, but when I make fish, I cook it with the head on, my friend.
That's disgusting.
I eat all the flesh off the head and the brains and the eyeballs. I eat it all, my dude.
Jim, can I just say one thing? I got a notification on my phone, and it's about Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
It's not delayed again.
live updates on Cyberpunk 2077. What is it?
It's got a 50 gigabyte day one patch on top of the coming other patch that they haven't mentioned.
That's fucking spicy.
That's a 50 gig patch. I have decent internet, and that would take 50 gigs. Would probably take 2 hours, maybe a little bit less.
How big is the game?
It's
got to be 100 gigs.
Let's do this 1 second, and then we'll go back. Cyberpunk 2077. I bet it's going to be 100 gigs or so. Cyberpunk 2077 size. 70 gigs. So they're basically doubling the game in... Oh my god. See, that's what makes me nervous a little bit.
Like weird last minute 50
gigs?
gig patches like that? Yeah.
What's in those gigabytes?
That reminds me of Fallout 76, where someone installed it first day, and then if you had it installed first day with all the patches, it's like fucking 250 gigabytes or some fucking awful thing.
God, that fucking kills me. That's so scary. Yeah, I want to go camping. I'd say if I could pick anywhere to go camping, watching that show, those camp spots under Mount Fuji, because they mention the Yuru Camp, they mention actual campgrounds and actual locations.
In Japan
that you can camp. Oh, I was looking up some of them, and it's like, holy shit. Flat, like plains, hilly campgrounds and stuff, and you have a clear view to Mount Fuji. It looks so nice.
Do they have tree cover and stuff?
Yeah, you can get... So, I guess Japan's really... I didn't know, but they're really, really diverse with their land types there. Like, you can go lakeside camping there, and mountainside camping, and in-mountain camping, and they have plains you can camp on, and you can go forest camping, and it's all within, 2 hours.
If I was to go camping, I would say that I prefer a lot of tree cover and stuff, just because it keeps a lot of elements out, and it keeps the wind out from your camp, too.
I've never thought about that.
And you can do, hammocks and different stuff like that, and you can set up a clothesline really easily, where if you're going mountain camping or hiking like that and plains camping, right, you don't have a lot of options. They just pitch tent, make fire,
just chill,
try not to die of exposure.
How do you set up a hammock? You just tie it between two trees?
Yeah, I know how to do it. I mean, you know what, Dan, let's buy a bunch of camping stuff this summer and we'll go camping.
Okay, how much did you spend on a hammock? On Amazon, I found one that's $18. Would that be okay?
Well, let's do. I'm not an overly large man, but I'm not going to trust my white ass in that an $18 piece of tarp between two trees.
Can we buy the life straws and drink the water out of the lake?
I think I might have one. I think I maybe pick one up one day. Yeah, you put it in a. You can suck it through that, or you also get ones that you put lake water or river water in a bag and you can squeeze it through there and then fill your cup with it too.
Why have we not abolished water problems on Earth if every single person was given a life straw?
Listen, we just need how many? 8 billion life straws distributed to the population. And
everyone
then all
would be
our problems would be good. Would you want to do regular, we'll bring a lot of pots and pans, load up a car with coolers and stuff and do that? Or would you rather do we get our hiking stuff together, fill up with beans and some meat and stuff, and maybe a couple beers, and then walk out in the woods and
that one.
We can rough it a little bit, because that's what my friends like to do too. They like more of the vacation camp where you go out to the woods and you bring 80 coolers and you make bacon every day and eggs and you make gross food and drink a lot and
disgusting raw meat that you eat.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of looking at the crown camping thing. That's very interesting. I didn't know there was really a name for that, because I've talked to Cassie before, and I'm like, what stops me from just getting off the 401 and walking into the wilderness?
Jumping in someone's farming field and just setting up a tent. I'd be up for that. I wouldn't want to go somewhere very remote just because we'd have to get out and in again and make sure that we're doing okay. And I'd probably do a couple things me and you would go hiking down a trail and just see if we can find our way through there and just prepare for it. I don't really want to jump into get fucked really hard camping right away without any mild form of practice. But yeah, man, you're my friend and I like you a lot and I'd love to go camping with you.
I'm trying to think what other topics about the great outdoors do we have. I mean, this summer was kind of a bust to me. I can't really even remember anything summery that happened besides one camping trip. Like, I at the start of COVID, I walked around every single day. I went on walks and stuff, but like, COVID has just zapped this year. I basically can't remember what's happened between the start of it and maybe like 2 months ago.
I feel like people say this year has felt very long, but I've not stopped working the whole time during COVID, so I feel like if anything, there's less stuff to do. So I'm filling my days with like, okay, I'll go for a walk, or okay, I'll do this or that. But there's less stuff to do, so I feel like time is passing quicker for me. Yeah. Did you do anything exciting when you were? Because I've gone I go hiking sometimes, and I like swimming and stuff, so I do that kind of stuff. I was doing some summery stuff. You were also busy with school and stuff, which I'm not.
Yeah, I was pretty busy with school still, but mostly like after the first couple weeks, I really needed something to figure out what to do. So I'd start going on walks every day, like around 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. and stuff for like an hour and a bit.
I think it's important during COVID to have something to look forward to.
It's like a schedule.
Yeah.
You just need something to do every day or every other day, so it's not just sitting in your house. That was my biggest thing. I didn't want to just be sitting in my goddamn house all day.
Yeah, and I think people have that compulsion too, where if you're sitting around doing nothing too much, you want to get up and do something, which is good. Yeah, I don't need Jordan fucking Peterson to tell me to wash my penis and clean my room and go for a walk.
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Shitterson. Jordan strung out in Russia, son. All right. Anything else you wanted to cover with camping?
I think we are all good. We'll have more topics to talk about in a year when we
actually go
camping.
That was a lot of tangents, but I think we had a good time.
That was a good one. That was a good one about camping. Jim, do you have anything you want to talk about next time?
I was kind of spitballing. Well, I wanted to do a movie, I think, this time, because we haven't done that yet on this show. So are you feeling like you want to do a good movie or a bad movie?
It would be more interesting to talk about... See, like, bad movies are fun to talk about, but they have to be bad in a sense where...
It's entertaining.
They're not like Deadly Detention, where I immediately forgot everything about that movie. Like...
Yeah, they need to be, like, entertaining and frustrating enough to have fun with them, so I feel like we were always looking for something like that, but I don't know. I haven't found a lot of movies like that.
Yeah.
Would you rather do something good, then?
Yeah, we could do something good. Have you seen... You did watch The Lighthouse, right?
Yeah, do you want to talk about The Lighthouse?
Yeah, I've never watched it. I'd have to watch it.
You've never watched it?
No, it's on Prime Video, though.
Yeah, I'm totally up for watching that again. That movie was awesome. I really liked it. Have you seen The Witch by the same guy?
Yeah. Spelled with the two V's. Yes, I have.
Yeah, the Witch. Yeah, okay. So next time for your book club, watch The Lighthouse. Or I'm going to disclaim that with if you're not into weird existential films or lots of gore and nudity, don't watch that. But we can still talk about it. We're still talking about it next time. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we sign out here, Dan?
I think I'm okay.
You good?
I think I'm all good. Good luck if everyone's finishing school right around now, because it's like bitch time right now. I have a presentation today, and like I'm pretty good with presentations, but like online having to organize people's goddamn video chats and webcams during a presentation, it's not the same.
That must be such a nightmare doing online school.
Bitch.
I didn't like taking the few classes I did have online, so I can't imagine how bad it would be.
The big thing is just, like, again, making a schedule, because then you'll just sit around all day doing nothing.
That was my problem with the class I took, was I left everything till last minute. And it was, like, the very last class I needed to take for university, so I almost fucked it up. Yeah, it was a bad idea.
But that is it.
But, yeah, so next time we're going to do The Lighthouse. And how do you want to sign us out here, Dan?
I'll sing Ave Maria. I was thinking about that song today.
All right, I'm going to fade on you sing Ave Maria. Or Ave Maria, do it.
Ave Maria. Ave
Maria. Good night, darling.
Goodbye, Jim.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Dan.
Good night, everybody.
This is what Dan gets to when my internet cuts out.
Oh, Jimbus. I have a feeling he's not here and now I'm alone. I'm alone in this big ol' world. Let's go down IGN's list of top 10 terrifying scares in video games. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Let's see. Pathologic 2. Anthony Fantano. Akinator. Lone Survivor. British people be like micro crisp, and it's a picture of a little tiny microchip on a finger. Alligator. I don't know what any of that is. Fatal Frame. Never played, can't say. Some idiots talking about shoes. World of Horror. I like Junji Ito. Logan Paul.